Well, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be doing our video of Sun in the second house in Scorpio for a Libra Ascendant person, and what happens when your Sun is in the second house in the sign of Scorpio as a Libra rising. And this is, as you know, is different from my planets through signs or planets through houses, because now we're combining the two things together. Now Sun is in a certain house but in a certain sign. And Sun also rules a certain house in the horoscope. Because for Libra Ascendant people, Sun rules the 11th house of hopes, wishes, desires, achievements, recognition, awards, support system, friends, network circles. So it's bringing that energy of the 11th house into the 6th house, but especially through sign of Scorpio. And as always, if you do not know, if you have this ascendant, if your planet is placed here, all the other astrological details, for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction, and Aspects, and Mahadashas at the Speed of Light, including all my readings and consultations at this link. So, Sun in the second house in Scorpio. So, first of all, we know what the 11th house is, as I just described. What is the second house? Second house represents family, lineage, food, speech, wealth, earnings, savings. And then the sign of Scorpio there. Scorpio, as you know, it is a karmic sign, meaning there is, see, whenever I say the word karmic sign, and I know you guys comment, what do you mean by karmic sign? You keep talking about karmic sign, Aquarius, and then Scorpio. Karmic sign meaning that there is some karma to be paid back. That's what it is. And most of the time, what we pay back is we don't like, right? So let's say you have to pay back somebody money. That means you have to take that money out from your savings and to give it someone. It's never a good thing. Even if you borrowed from them, you are getting less of something now. You're getting loss of something now. So that represents the karmic sign. But also karma can also be you getting money from someone. So it's not always bad. But because this is the sign which is co-ruled by Ketu and Mars, two tamasic planet, malefic planets. So usually their action is always towards things which are uncomfortable, things which you do not really like stepping into. So first of all, 11th Lord is in the second house, which naturally creates a Dhan Yoga. Yoga for attaining wealth. But again, the problem is people think wealth, as in millionaires or billionaires. That's not it. 11th Lord in the second house simply means that one will have the ability to sustain themselves. One will have the ability to have clothes, food, shelter. And that's the most basic of Dhan Yoga. Dhan Yoga does not mean that, okay, if you have Dhan Yoga, you are to be rich and you are to be wealthy. You are to be that 1%er. This simply shows that one is able to sustain themselves. But 11th Lord in the second house shows, because second house is not just money, but value. What do you value in your life? So this shows us that one values their friends, values their network circles and connections. They value the people that support them. This also shows that one always tends to earn money by being surrounded by people who are in the marketplace, financial industries. You always tend to earn money through support of other people, through help of other people. But what this also shows, 11th house is coming to your second house, and there's karmic sign of Scorpio, which means that a person can also lose money to friends and network circles, perhaps due to their selfish and jealous reasons. This also shows that a person may, like you, not them, you, this is your sun, You may actually take advantage of your network circles and friends to gain possessions and to gain things, which you do not want to give back. Like, for example, you made connections at a party. And they said, oh yeah, I know this and this person. They're actually looking for the position that you're looking for, and I can connect you guys. And they're actually giving this huge salary. And you're like, yes, I would love to. You get that job. You're making money. But now, that friend who connected you with this may either want your help now to be in the same company, or maybe going through such a financial hardship that they may even ask you to borrow maybe a few $1,000s until their paycheck comes. And this is where this person, which is you, might get stingy, selfish, will be very afraid of giving that opportunity back to the friends. So what happens then? That the karma is that this person, when they become jealous, when they become possessive, envious, like, okay, you helped me gain this position, but I don't think I want to help you gain this position because then you can take my position somehow. So that's okay, I'll just ignore you. Then what happens when they do this? The karma comes where they lose their money. The minute you get jealous with Sun and Scorpio in the second house, the minute you get possessive, the minute you get envious, that's where the karma of Ketu activates. Because remember, why is it so important to help the other person? Ketu is not about receiving, Ketu is about giving. When you give, that's when Ketu is pleased. Not when you receive. Ketu does not care how much you receive. Ketu is a moksha karka. For him, he gets irritated when Ketu receives more. But when Ketu sees that you're giving more back, then the energy comes in. And because Mars rules the energy, the movement, shows the money comes in. Money comes in. But this really shows a person who really becomes quite jealous, possessive about what they have. Like, this is the person who will not even show, if let's say they have $10 million in their account, cash, sitting, which is very, very hard because most of the time people just have assets. They don't really have cash. If this person has cash, they will probably be driving a 2-door Volkswagen. They'll be living in a 2-bedroom house with 4 people. Because for them, the second house is the house of fear and anxiety. Like, oh my God, I've got $10 million. But if I buy this $800,000 house, $1 million house, I'll have to spend this much and my money could be gone one day. What if this happens and then this is gone? The soul, the ego gets into fear. That, okay, I need to hoard things. So this person can become a hoarder. So some of the people that you see, let's say on television, that hoarder show where you go and it's just like things are stacked up, like up to the ceiling, and they haven't washed anything. Because remember, Scorpio is a very psychological sign. It's a psychological baggage. For them, that baggage is to hold on to things. And this is why what happens, at one point, these people always tend to lose friends. Because they're always wanting to take advantage of the friends. They do not want to give it back. The only place where this sun will be willing to sacrifice, devote themselves deeply to the friends, if your sun is in Anuradha Nakshatra, which I will discuss later when we go through planets and nakshatras through houses. That's when you will truly understand the essence of each planet. Believe me, this is just the basic. Even the nakshatra part is the basic of astrology, which is even the deepest point that you will ever go to. Forget even everything else. Because Anuradha is a nakshatra of devotion. Radha, that's selfless love. which is about losing everything and still not caring about anything, but loving that person no matter what. So here in Anuradha will do that, but mainly this Sun will always try to be fearful of losing money to the network circles. But also on the contrary, this person can become a revolutionary. They want to revolutionize society because 11th house is society at large. It is that large group, collective thinking. It's about the collective. So because Scorpio is ruled by Mars and Ketu, which represents the ground, which represents the bhumi you stand on, the conquered and the marching army, this person has a very strong leadership skill to lead a certain organization to the top. But again, due to Scorpio, it'll always be due to some selfish reason. Like, I need to get to the top so I can possess everything. And it is what it is. This is nothing to be with good or bad. You want to possess things. Okay, that's your prarabdha karma, that's your sanchita karma. It's okay. There's no need to feel bad about it. We all have our peccadillos where we might be considered as a bad person. But it's only bad or good in the eye of the beholder, on the eye of the astrologer who's looking at it, these things. And Sun represents the father, the significator of the father. Because it's in the karmic sign, either you will use your father's wealth or you will lose your wealth through your father at some point in your life. Which this doesn't mean that you will lose all your wealth, meaning like your father raised you and your father somehow does not have money and he's sick. So now you may have to spend $10,000, $15,000 on his treatment. So it doesn't mean that this is due to the fact like your father's going to come and just possess your wealth and go away. No, things will happen where you will have to give that money, that karmic debt back to the father. But for you as an individual, as a soul, you will not see it in such a deep manner. You will see it, oh my God, I'm so burdened by my father. I always seem to have to always give it to him and pay him and spend money on him. Or my father never gives me anything. Stingy. So all of these thoughts, this garbage that we have up here about thoughts, it's only this ego. But if you go a little deeper as to why do I have to spend money on my father? Why does my father never gives me any money or takes my money away? Why my father didn't even give me my inheritance? Once you realize that this is the karmic debt you were to pay, you're like, hey, that's cool. I'm cool with that, because it is a debt I have to pay. So that is the 11th Lord Sun in the second house in Scorpio. And also it shows that one grew up in a family of people who are either in medical field or people who are dealing with oil, petroleum, or even people who might be, or coming from a lineage of people who might be miners, coal miners, gold miners. And there's a lot more to it. I mean, you can keep on adding. Because Scorpio is just not limited to 10 things. Scorpio sign, especially every year, something new is being added. Like astrological house is like a dictionary. New words are added always into a dictionary. So Scorpio represents many things. It's just things which are hidden underneath. Things which are deep beneath. Whether you call that occult, you call that oil, petroleum, gems, graveyard, whatever is deep, that is Scorpio. Scorpio is water. So look at chemicals, pharmaceuticals, oil and petroleum. Face creams are Scorpio because they go deep within to clear your skin. Okay. So guys, this was my analysis of Sun in the second house in Scorpio. For Libra Ascendant people. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. Again, if you want to know where your Sun is, all your astrological details, my books, reports, consultations, click here. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.